All right, time to make bread. I'm gonna do the same as I've been doing. So that's 666 grams of flour. I do about 300 of white and then the balance of wheat. It's up already, that's good. Okay. Bowl on the scale, 666 grams of flour, 500 grams of water. I warmed it up in the microwave for about 45 seconds so it gets right around 100 degrees or so. You want it to be just slightly warmer. So when you put your finger in, you go, oh, it's warm. But not like, it's hot, you know? So around 105, 108 degrees is pretty good. So now I'm just gonna mix all this stuff together. This is my auto lease, so I'm just mixing flour and water. This is warm water. I don't want to have it too cold. It's kind of cool today and very dry outside. A cold front came through early this morning. So I don't know how much that's going to affect what we do today, but we'll give it a try. This is going to be a loaf that I bake tomorrow morning. So today will be about getting this together, stretched and proofed. Then overnight, I'll put it in the refrigerator. Probably about 12 to 14 hours in the fridge. It can go longer apparently. I've never done it longer, but one thing I probably need to do eventually is make one like on a Thursday and then bake it on a Saturday or something like that. Let it sit for a while. But as for now, this is going to be about 12, 14 hours. And it's coming together pretty good. It's going to be nice and scratchy when you start, but that's no problem. Greased bowl. Let that sit in there. Cover it up. And we'll be back probably like 30 minutes or so. And then we'll start on our next steps. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes or so. So, keep moving. It feels different. It looks a little bit different. So, 15 grams of salt. Oh, it is her mother? Okay. So I fed it around 8 hours ago, so it's right around peaking. If I move it around, some of the bubbles start popping, so I think we're where we need to be. So do 150 grams of starter. Looks good, feels pretty good. It came together pretty nicely, so. There you go. I'm gonna put it in the oven. It's kind of cool, so I'm gonna put it in the oven with the light on and let it sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. And that should, this is it for the starter and everything, so give it like 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll start on our folds. Okay, first fold. I had it in there in the oof, that's not good. Had it in the oven, but with just the light on, so it's sort of warm. Because it's kind of cool today, so I don't want it. I want the dough to stay warm. It seems to work better when it's warm. It's stretching really nicely here, so. Starting to stick a little bit. Okay. So that looks good. It feels nice. It's nice and jiggly. So back in the oven with the light on. It's keeping it around about 80 degrees. It's still a little bit cool, but the bowl feels warm, so I wanted to keep it warmer today. Been another hour. Ooh, got a big bubble over here. That's nice. It's getting pretty strong. It feels pretty good. Did I not hit record? Continuity's sake, the eclipse is just over its peak. This is feeling fluffy. Oh, maybe a bit too fluffy almost. Look at that. Okay. Ooh. There's a lot of air in it. Ooh, there's a lot of air in it. Look at that, how jiggly it is. I don't know how well it picks up on camera, but my goodness. Okay. Really busy day today. A lot of fun stuff happening. So, bread is, woo, feels real. Boy, it's jiggling like nobody's business. Okay. I've had luck. I've had good and bad luck when it's like this. I'm a bit nervous, but it stays. It's super warm to the touch. I'd venture to say like upper 80s as far as temperature. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's give it a proper temp. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we're rolling with here. 89 degrees. Actually, wow. Okay. It can sit outside for a little bit. I'm preheating the oven for proofing. So the oven gets about 105 degrees. I've had good luck with that temperature. This dough is really good. I'm going to leave it out on top of the stove and give it. The eclipse doesn't have much. Pretty airy. Ooh, a lot of air in it. Good. So there we go. This camera seems to be not liking work today. I don't blame it, but didn't show up. But I got it on another camera, thankfully. So it's not one thing; it's another. It's just the way it works sometimes. But the bread seems okay. The dough is a bit more sticky than I like. There's some dough left on the counter that I don't like, but I think we're okay. So I got my shower cap here, and make sure it's still recording. The eclipse is over. It looked really pretty. I got a couple of good pictures and a couple of good videos, so that'll be coming later. But in the meantime, I'm going to take this and we're going to set up. The oven is set to preheat or to proof. So here's my before picture and my before video. And here we go. So I don't think this is going to take that long. I think it'll probably be right around 2 hours. So not that big a deal. So it is 1:16 in the afternoon. We'll be back in probably about maybe like 100 minutes, maybe 120. Got 12, no. Oh, way more. Got like 18 hours or so. It's 8. I put the bread up like around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So now it's 8:30 in the morning the next morning. So I have the oven preheated. I have my pot in here. Have my pot ready, so I'm gonna get it out, and get this bread in there and get moving. Seems pretty good. It's already deflating a little bit. I don't like that. Comes out poofy out of the Benetton, but then when I slice it and it sits here for a few seconds, it starts to deflate. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with that part. So to combat that, I just try to move in and out as quickly as I possibly can. Get it in that heat so all of the water in there will turn to steam and it'll start to rise, hopefully. But I set a timer for 20 minutes, and we'll find out when we take the top off in 20 minutes. And then another 11 to 13 minutes. I usually put it at 12 and check to get some color on the top. I'll take the top off and get some color on it for 12, 13 minutes or so, and we'll see then. Is this gonna work or not? The card has been acting up. We'll see. Got about 10 seconds to go. And we'll take out the bread. It looked, when I took off the top, it looks a little flat. So we'll see how that ended up. Okay. It's a decent depth. It rose a little bit. It went out more than up. It's a little bit frustrating because it did feel pretty good. I made sure not to let it get overproofed. But smells really good. Aesthetically not too bad looking. So it's 9 in the morning. I'll cut this. I made French onion soup, so I'm going to cut some of this to have it for dinner tonight. So I'm going to let it cool for like 3 or 4 hours before I cut into it this evening. I think earlier I mentioned that it did not rise as much as I'd hoped. See how it's more wide than it is tall, which is a 70. I added a little bit more water than I normally do, and it felt okay. Maybe I just didn't. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna cut a piece right now. It's like 5 in the afternoon, so I was thinking maybe I would do it today, but maybe not. But I think obviously I am now. But I was like, oh, I want a nice little cup of. Crumb looks pretty good. Has the right odor to it, so like that's that. I just wish it were about 2 inches taller, maybe. That'd be nice. So what I'm gonna do now is take half of it and put it on a bowl of French onion soup with some cheese on it. So it's gonna be my dinner. But overall, the crumb looks really good. It's just I wish there were more of it. But the crumb actually looks right. I don't have that. It just looks like it proper across and not like sometimes there's like a wet-ish part. It's a bit damp, but it's supposed to be. It's bread. So, or at least at this stage, it's still gonna have a little bit of time to air out, but store it away. And this is gonna be for my breakfast tomorrow. But yeah, everything's stored away, and I'll give myself like a C, like a 75 out of 100 for that one loaf. It's okay.